Well, I decided to make a little flowchart. It's nowhere near done, and it would probably be primitive despite it. I figured out that science is like, I don't even know how to say this. Only a few people can really comprehend the sciences, such as physics, mathematics, chemistry, whatever. So, and even fewer want to. Nobody cares. Everyone acts like, oh, that's just nerdy shit. That's because you're stupid. So just because you can't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean it's not important. So morality is like that. Everyone just wants to classify it as subjective or leave it to somebody else to deal with. But then when they don't like it, oh, all of a sudden something is wrong with it. Well, where the fuck were you when we were discussing the matters and you should have taken it seriously then? So, because I'm that kind of person, and I know morality is objective, I have created this little periodic table. Can you see it? It's kind of hard to with the lighting, but basically it looks like a periodic table with elements of evil. Right now I'm just focusing on the evil ones. So far I have GR for greed, IG for ignorance, ego, and FR for fear, because these are just the ones I came up with at the moment. And like a periodic table, these things have consequences. They have chemical reactions to each other. When you do these things, they will undoubtedly create a chain reaction. So, knowing that, how can you say that morality is not objective? How can you say that morality is simply the byproduct of society, when clearly there are outcomes that can either be predetermined, at least vaguely? So, there are so many variables that, yeah, we cannot really comprehend the full effects of these things, but it's like that with any science. Science is all about discovery and new beginnings. They found out Pluto wasn't actually a planet and a moon, and that took how many years to figure out? How many fucking thousands of years have we called Pluto a planet, only to recently discover it's a moon? Really? So, knowing that, how can you deny that morality is not objective? That makes, nothing people do makes any sense. That is one of the greatest elements of all, is ignorance. And that is willful ignorance, which I think would constitute some other fear I haven't listed right now because I would have to think about it. But I think, like a periodic table, you can mix these elements and they will create new compounds and new properties. So let's say you mixed fear and greed. What do you get? Well, you get Wall Street right now. You get this housing bubble where nobody wants to take action, no one wants to invest, and jobs are lost, and poverty is created, and that should be another periodic table. Although poverty is more of a byproduct of other chemicals than a chemical in and of itself. It is not an originator, it is merely something that can easily be created. I put ego on here because moderators suffer tremendously from that. They suffer from this sense of entitlement because of who they are and what they think they have. I can't really say they're greedy because I don't know that. They just are greedy toward what they have. It's all about me, it's my property, it's my forum. So, it's not really greed. It might be ignorance, but they're not really stupid. If they were stupid, they wouldn't do as much as they do. They would be much more haphazard about it. It certainly isn't fear. They have no problem exercising their brutality, and when I threaten them with real legal action, they don't seem to care. So fear is not a word in their vocabulary. It's just pure egomania. They're egomaniacal psychopaths that enjoy abusing people for their own, bolstering, so they can puff up their chest and claim to be the moderator of the forum and you will obey my rules. Fuck you, Richard the Rapist Buller, Fast Eddie, Moot, whatever. So, this is just the beginning of what I hope to be a new scientific field. We always have philosophy, we have theology, we have all these different fields that are just simply splinters of the tree that is moral, science. I see no reason to discuss politics or philosophy until you admit that morality is an objective thing and should be treated like a science like any other. And we can talk about the issues. We can talk about like abortion and gay marriage and all this shit, but you have to think about where that fits in on this periodic table, because at some point you're going to come back to it. And you can't just simply claim, oh, people don't like gays because of ignorance and fear, because it's not really fear and ignorance. They're not afraid of gays, they're disgusted by gays. Why are they disgusted by gays? What caused them to be disgusted by gays? What have gays done to deserve to be disgusted of? And, gays are guilty of a couple of these things too. So, that's the tenets of morality study, not simply, throwing words around and accusations. So, that's what I'm hoping to say here, and, maybe you'll start to comprehend a little where I'm coming from with this. But I sincerely doubt it. Many of you will just cling to your ideas of subjective morality and about how nothing is certain, everything is permitted, but then bitch and whine when something doesn't go your way. You ever notice how the more people scream about freedom, the less they're willing to partake in it? As much as I bash gays, how often do I really oppress gays? Have I ever in my life even so much as looked at a gay menacingly? No, I don't come across that many gays, but I do know what gays are like. I used to be a part of the LGBT. I know what they're all about, and it's sickening, it's revolting. They should not be organized. So, I don't know how else to explain this to you. I'm not some guy that wants to be the Führer. I'm not some religious dogmatic peon that was raised this way by his overly Christian parents. My parents aren't even Christians. So, it's not religion, it's not society, it's not, some stupid shit like that. I'm not a closeted homosexual. I hate homosexuals for real reasons. Experience, talking to a couple of them online, and when I say a couple, I mean like 100 of them. And, just time after time disappointed, and they have no shred of morality. They only care about their little perversions. They only care about the ultimate goal of being able to hump what they want when they want. They don't care about anything else. So why the fuck should I care about them? And, that's just one example. Because I know YouTube loves talking about how homophobic I am and deleting all my videos. But honestly, I got other things to talk about. It's just, gays are a prime example of evil. And gays and moderators, that's it. There's also the vast majority of zombies. The middle class working person that is just a fool and an oaf and a minion. But honestly, I think they could be zombies for the good of society too. I believe if the right people were in charge and the right people validated the moral system and science behind it, that it wouldn't matter. The zombies are a blank slate. It depends on who is controlling them. But that's a debate for another time. That's a video for another time. This is just what I can get away with within 10 minutes, because, YouTube can delete my videos and ban me, and apparently impose a 10-minute limit. But that isn't censorship, that's just the exercise of their website. So, what do you want out of my life?